Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today, new game engine time! Yes, today we are talking about the Esoterica engine, and honestly, the name says it all. Based off the word esoteric, do you know what esoteric means? Well, if you don't, nice thing is, they put it right on their homepage. Intended for, or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest. So they know who their audience is. This is not a turnkey game engine. This isn't like a Unity, an Unreal, or a Godot that you take and run with. This instead is meant as either a technology demonstrator, a starting point for developing your own game engine, for R&D, or for learning from. Now, the thing is, Esoterica engine actually has a lot of the underlying plumbing and systems that you would expect, and there's a very good reason why you need to take this one serious. That's the developers behind it. First, probably the closest analog to the Esoterica engine that I can think of is something like the G3D Innovation Engine. This is Morgan McGuire, who, ironically enough, actually wrote the computer text I used in school for learning computer graphics. And it was kind of, again, a AAA quality or commercial grade quality C++ 3D game engine that you can use as kind of a learning base or to test out new graphics and so on. Same kind of concept here with the Esoterica engine. Now, the reason why you probably want to pay attention to this is the people that are behind it. The primary developer is a man by the name of Bobby Angulov. I'm assuming I said that right. And he currently works at Valve. So in the past, he has worked on games such as Gotham Knight, Hitman, Far Cry 4. So he definitely has AAA experience. And if you work at Valve, generally you have an idea of what you are doing. On top of that, the renderer was just rewritten by a fellow by the name of Kirill Bazanov, who you can also see has worked as a graphics programmer, rendering programmer, or general programmer on games such as Forza Motorsports, which is one of the best looking console games in my humble opinion, at least performance to looks quality. And then on top of that, Mario Strikers, Luigi's Mansion, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and so on. So these are two guys that are behind this engine. They definitely have industry know-how. So this isn't just some hobbyist. This is best practices from people that actually, know what they're talking about. So again, open source project under the MIT license. Like I said, the two primary developers are those two right there. He rewrote the renderer, and this is primarily his project as well. By the way, if you like what they're doing here, come in and drop them a star. So my standard warning right now, I'm producing these for my vacation, so I'm making this the end of July. Probably coming out early August, so you might have noticed there might have been a commit or a change or something. It shouldn't change too much, but the Esoterica prototype game engine. Again, the big thing you want to know is right here. Need to be clear, Esoterica is not an off-the-shelf game engine that you can just take and work with. It is intended for technical teams that have the ability to extend and build upon it. But the thing is, the amount that you're building upon is a lot. For example, here is the editor. This is like the front end of it. Idea, there is a renderer. The renderer seems very speedy, but at the same time, trying to get assets into this, it's a chore. So kind of got a little bit of a catch-22. Usability isn't amazing, but the technology and the state of what you've got here is quite comprehensive. So you see here, pretty simple, ECS-based. So here you create an entity into the world like that guy, add a component onto that entity, such as, for example, a mesh, or we could just go ahead straight out and bring in a model like so, and it'll instantiate. So here, and then bring that into the world, and there you see the model. So you do have this level editor, you do have box 3D physics integration, you do have all of this editing environment, you have this entity component system, so there is our new created ball. On top of that, we can add various different components, NPC, player, camera, and so on. What do all these do? No idea other than guessing. So that's one of those things. If you want to figure out how these things work, you're jumping into source code. There is no real documentation here. Even the idea of like, how do I bring in an FBX file? Normally I would like just literally drag and drop it into a project. Here, I have no idea. So just one of those things to be aware of. This is not a turnkey game engine. This is a scaffold for people that want to go ahead and create their own, or maybe you want to figure out how things work, or you wanted a test bed for new rendering technologies and so on. You'll see actually here, we got a decent number of settings here for the renderer. So you've got, SMAA, SAAO, different options, controls over here. And if you want to bring in new features and try them out, that's what it's all about. So you got this editing environment here, but ultimately this is distributed in this format. So this is a source code project. I'm currently actually running it. Let me just go ahead and stop that. And what you'll notice here is when you first open it up, it's actually organized into different sections. This is Visual Studio only, by the way, so there's no Linux builds or anything like that. This is a Windows only as far as I know in terms of the source code. But you'll see here, you've got the reflection layer right there, your applications here. So what you want to do when you want to, if you want to check out the editor, for example, come in here, set this as your startup project, and then click run. And that's how we got things up and going. But you'll notice here, so all the source code here for the editor is right there. So you want to jump in and figure out how they were done. You've got all of the code there, straight up C++. And then behind the scenes over here, we've got the game logic right here. So here is the runtime. And then, like I said, it's an entity-based system. So you come here, components. So if you want to figure out how like a character works, the character component, you basically have to come in here and actually check out the code. Now, the good thing is the code is generally fairly readable and well documented, so you can figure things out. But the learning curve here, there's no tutorials really to get you up and going, and there's very, very, very minimal documentation. So this is for a very specific audience. I just want to get that set. But if you are a game engine geek and you like to jump behind the scenes and see how things are implemented, you are going to love that. So here, this is, again, for the game side of things, we've got your entity system right here. So if you want to see how entities can be implemented, you can check that out. And on top of that, we then have the engine layer right here. So this is where the actual, so that's the engine runtime right there. Where was I before? I was in the game runtime. All right, so here we're down at the heart of it. So that you can think of these kind of as levels. So like the 0, I think, is built on top of 1, is built on top of 2. So as you're going down, you're lower and lower in the abstraction level here. So at the engine level here, you can see there's your core level. So if you want to make your own entity component system, this is where the entity is defined, for example, and all the various different pieces, how they work together. You want to make your own renderer. Here we get into the rendering settings. So here is the rendering area. So here, for example, want to learn how to render a mesh? Here you go. So there's the code for doing it right there. Various different pieces all work together there. And then we've got the base level that it's built on top of. That's the Esoterica base. You got things here like math libraries. If you need to do matrix math for your game. There, boom, you got source code to look it up. So again, this can definitely be used as an educational tool. These are things that pretty much anybody would have to implement. Again, it is all very clean C++ code from what I have read so far. And then on top of that, a bunch of configurable properties available right there, a couple of miscellaneous items, and then here is your documentation. And your docs are kind of laughable. So when I say this is a very minimally documented engine, I mean that. So let's go in here. There's your docs. So if you want to learn a little bit about shaders, for example, there is a little bit of documentation about shaders. Actually, this is the biggest document file I actually opened so far. But like, if you want to, like, how do I use the editor? You're not going to find that kind of stuff. So just be aware of exactly what this is all about. But it is always awesome that people are contributing these things back to the community. Again, if you do like what he's done here, do pop him a star or give him a shout out on Twitter. I know he's definitely active there as well. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Now, one of those things is that if you are going to get started with it, this may change by the time that this goes live. I just had a bit of a hang up myself. If you want to build this, basically come on in here and clone the repository right there. And then you've got one of two options. You need to get these external data dependencies. These are the various different libraries that such is dependent on. Just download them and unzip them into your project. Or there is a script that you can run. So go over here. And of course, this is in my temp folder right here. So you come in here, you will find there is this script right here, download dependencies. That will go ahead on the internet and pull down all the various different pieces you need if you want. So you're going to need to run that first. And then on top of that, you're going to have to run this right here. Now, I actually ran into a problem with this. You may or may not. I am not 100% certain. But there is normally a line here, right here. So when I first opened it up, it had hot reload as well. And for some reason, hot reload currently breaks the reflector process. Hopefully, again, this is fixed. But if you run into some errors and some dynamic scripts aren't being created for you, try taking that line out so that it just reads the bottom part, like so it just reads that, and you should be able to get it compiled. Once again, this was just the only problem I ran into while building it, and hopefully it has been resolved at this point, or maybe that was user error on my behalf, but that's how I got it to ultimately work. So just heads up that is a little catch there, and that is the kind of thing you're going to have to run into. Like when you're dealing with a project like this, you gotta have to know what you're doing. It's just one of those catches. Now, the thing is, you could actually probably ask like an AI to actually give you an idea of how things are explained. But you get an idea. These are the various different features that are in it. So serialization, math, string handling, logging, etc. C++-based reflection and code generation, compiler-based resource system with hot reloading, bindless DirectX 12 renderer, actor ECS object model, AAA high-quality performance animation system, which has actually been used in multiple shipped games, which is cool. Box 3D physics integration. Box 3D literally just shipped, so you get an idea how up-to-date this is. And on top of that, basic editor structure and tooling using Dir.im GUI. You get an idea. So there's a ragdoll editor, animation graph, basic editor. Some of these things I actually have no idea how you even get to them. So again, there's definitely some learning curve here for sure. So that's, again, not for everybody, but if you are looking to maybe create your own game engine, or you want to see behind the hood of how other people have created game engines, that's exactly what the Esoterica engine is all about. And hopefully they do get that sample game. It'll make it much more accessible to people that are trying to, just grok what's going on here, because that is definitely a challenge with an engine like this. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the Esoterica engine, a very esoteric engine. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.